Close scoreline for you. This was a hammering. Cass only managed to kick 2 from 8. Cass were back to their dominant best with tries coming from all over the field. Leeds made a couple of breaks, but other than that were poor. Disappointingly, over 600 turned up for this, of which at least half were Cass fans. Hashtag YTG, which I think means yes the girls. Hashtag Coif, which means coif, and hashtag ASORHTW, answers on a postcard kids.
Yeah, assorted TWs. Who knows? Robert Hicks possibly is the RH, because Cass fans do love Robert Hicks. Who could TW be?
Who cares? What else happened in the Women's Super League?
It was Featherstone 7, St Helens 50. Wakefield 4. I'm loving the drop goals this week around the ground. Wakefield 4, York 0, and Wigan 40. Oh,
Wakefield 4.
Wakefield 4, Bradford 48. Did I do that one? Missed that. And Wigan 42, York 0. And then we had the Wheelchair Challenge Cup final, and it finished Leeds Rhinos 74. The Argonauts, where are they from?
They're from Kent. I don't know if they're like an army side or something. But yeah. Yeah.
Argonauts 46, Leeds 74, Argonauts 46. And we did have a fan view on this.
Yeah, our friend DG Knight got in touch. He said, caught the game on the R League live stream and was very entertained. Never seen the wheelchair version of the sport before. The passing skills demonstrated in the attacking moves were incredible, and the crashing over the try line or making crunching stops. This was no watered down version of Rugby League. Rhinos were a bit too consistent for it to be a nail biter, but both sides played some very entertaining stuff. Yeah, well done to Leeds. They've definitely become the primary force, haven't they, in the wheelchair game over the last 18 months or so.
Yeah, taken over from sort of the North Wales side that were doing very well, and
Halifax were
Halifax was strong at one point, and also Medway Dragons were big on that for a number of years, but they've moved on. My old friend Twiggy, the head coach of the Rats, has got lots to look at for his next internationals. Yeah,
definitely. NRL then, what happened there?
Yeah, round 22, and it was the Sea Eagles of Manly 32, West Tigers 12, the Gold Coast Titans 12, Eels 36, and Callum Watkins played in this and ran for 111 metres. Brisbane Broncos 24, Panthers 12, Knights 42, North Queensland Cowboys 6. They've moved quite a bit. They probably still call it a derby of Brisbane. Storm 18, Raiders of Canberra 22. Josh Hodgson making just a try assist, having a quiet week. Elliot Whitehead 1 try assist, 101 metres. The machine that is John Bateman 118 metres, and Sutton also ran.
Yeah, I mean big win for the Raiders. The first win against one of their top 4 rivals. And in the first half, it was all Storm. But what a comeback from the Green Machine and from the Fab 4 indeed as well.
Yeah. South Sydney Rabbitohs 6, Bulldogs 14. A couple of Burgeye got involved in this. Sam running 424 metres, and Tom also ran. The Sydney Roosters 42, the Warriors 6, and the Cronulla Sharks 18. St George Illawarra Drag Queens 12. James Graham making 40 tackles and not missing a single one, also running for 136 metres, and Gareth Widdop also played.
In terms of the standings, the Storm stay top, but their advantage slips to 4 points. They have 36 and the Roosters have 32. The Raiders have 30 points ahead of the Seagulls, Rabbitohs and Eels, all on 28. Brisbane have 23 and the Sharks join the Panthers on 22. The Knights and the Tigers are also still in the hunt for the top 8 on 20 points, with the Warriors on 19 and the Bulldogs now on 18. Dragons, Cowboys, they have 16 and the Titans have only 10 at the bottom. That is it for all the results from around the world of Rugby League this week. We're now going to move forward to predicting what will happen in the big Challenge Cup final. So, it's Challenge Cup final week, Tim. The big game at Wembley to look forward to. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff on the BBC, of course, on Saturday afternoon. St Helens, who are top of the league and running away with that particular part of the season, versus Warrington Wolves, who are just about second in the league. Before we get to our predictions on this, we ran a poll, and
the poll out.
Yeah, we got our poll out. It's not been unsheathed for some time, so it's out now, and it's
179 votes, which is a decent result.
Yeah, and St Helens will be enjoying the result as well, or at least their fans will be, if this comes to pass on Saturday afternoon, because 90% of those who voted that the Saints will win. Only 10% therefore voting for Warrington. It's a zero-sum game. There will be a winner, so there was no option for a draw. We'll run through some of the predictions we had from the listeners. So Paul O'Brien, he predicted it will finish 26-14 to St Helens. Tom Andrews said Saints by 20. Mark Butler said that I predict that I'll sleep through my alarm, miss the bus down, which is leaving at 7 a.m, and refuse to watch the game in a big huff. Well, Mark, if I'm awake early enough, I'll try and give you a buzz on the old tweets to remind you to wake up there, but I doubt I'll be up when you need to be up. Andrew K. Steele, the winner of Review of the Week this week for his review of the Hull FC versus Salford game, he predicts that it will be Saints by 19, first try to Walmsley, and Lance Todd winner to be James Roby. Alfie Garnett, who's a Warrington Wolves fan, made his prediction that
I look forward to you reading out all the emojis on this.
We'll see. So prediction is Saints 32, Wire 8. First try King for Wire, and then the shit show, aka St Avalanche, commencing shortly after. Austin will play on one leg, but Ratch out injured, so I'm hearing. Thank fuck I chose not to travel to this one. Hashtag it's always our year. Planes, flags, trains, stadiums, rugby balls, crying, sweating, all of that. But if they win,
GB flag in there as well.
Yeah, so there you go.
GB flag and an Ireland flag in there.
Excellent. I like that. Frogmore, he predicts 28. St Helens fan predicts 28-14 to the Saints. He says Coote to be first try scorer, Walmsley to run for over 200 metres and score a double. I think that'll get him the Lance Todd if he does that. Simon Hayes just says Coote with an exclamation mark, so I'm guessing he will be heavily involved in this one. Daniel Hayden predicts that it won't even be close, so I'm guessing in favour of Saints. I don't know, because his Twitter bio is a dog and he lives in Huddersfield, but I'm guessing in favour of Saints. But thanks for getting in touch, Daniel.
Maybe he in fact is a dog that lives in Huddersfield.
I don't know.
We can't rule this out. We can't rule out that Twitter can't be used by dogs.
No, but what I like is that Daniel's a new name on me. Well, not Daniel, but Daniel Hayden. At Daniel Hayden 11 is a new name on me, so get your fan reviews in, Daniel. Great to hear from you. Mike Marsden, who's another new one on me, at Mike Marsden 9. He is a Wigan fan, but he has picked that Saints will win 28 points to 12. First try by Coote and Lance Todd as well to Lachlan Coote.
There we go. We shall see. What's your plan for the day? What's your plan of attack?
I'm actually ducking out of this one. I'm not going down to Wembley myself this weekend. I think compromise sometimes has to be struck in this world that we live in. And
what you're doing
that
is
you are going to learn, Tim.
What you're doing is you're saving yourself for next year, where you can crash around the corner in a spare room.
Potentially so, but no, it's just come at a bad time financially and work-wise, to be honest, which is a shame. But I'll be watching along during the game. I'll try and be a bit more interactive if I can be when I'm watching the game, and see how we get on with that. And I'm hoping it's going to be more exciting than the predictions and polls make out. But at the end of the day, I think I'll just be satisfied with a complete St Helens performance, because that will be entertaining in itself, the way they've played this year. I don't want them to win, but I don't want Warrington to win either, so hey ho, someone's got to. And Saints have been a very entertaining side this year, so I hope that that's what we'll be seeing, rather than Warrington trying to play people who aren't fit enough to play, and that not... I don't like that. I mean, I went to a Challenge Cup final when one side played a player who definitely wasn't ready to be playing in that game, and it ended up being the most one-sided Challenge Cup final in history. So hopefully we don't see that, but I do think St Helens will win this one probably quite convincingly. I've got Saints winning 30 points to 14 is my score prediction. What about you? What are you doing for the game, and what's your score prediction?
Because it's still on the Bank Holiday weekend. Thankfully, it's moving next year, but I am once again away.
Oh, of course, it's your diving weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, going diving. So I'll be doing my usual, can I finish the lesson early, get the kids out of the water safely, and then get changed quickly and sprint back to the B&B to watch it on TV. So I normally traditionally make most of the second half. It's just a case of cajoling my dad to do things a bit faster, which is not in his nature. He's a lovely man and he does a lot for me, but doing things quickly is not his specialty. So he needs that cajoling. So I shall be trying to do that, and then hopefully I'll be able to watch all of the 1895 Cup final, should I so choose. I think Saints with this. I think just the dominance they've got, and the fact that, as they showed last week, they can rest 6 players and still win comfortably. I think with Roby doing Roby things and everybody else doing everybody else things, it will be a comprehensive victory. I'm going to say Saints by 24 points.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say James Roby to pick up the Lance Todd.
I hope that the Lance Todd goes to Johnny Lomax if he can put on the performance he's been putting on this year, and I hope he isn't forced in any way to play at fullback and plays where he should be playing this season, which is 6, even though he floats around the pitch. But I just have enjoyed watching him this year, and I think lots of times focus has been elsewhere in the side, with it being Tommy Makinson because of the Golden Boot, Lachlan Coote because of who he's replaced and how well he's played, or the front row of awesomeness in Thompson, Roby and Walmsley. I think Lomax shouldn't be overlooked at all for his performances this year, and I hope he delivers on the big stage, because I want him to do that for England later down the line, and for Great Britain as well. So that's why I'm kind of hoping. So that's my pick for the Lance Todd is Johnny Lomax. I think hopefully he can run the show and put on an entertaining game. Worth noting, Aaron Smith will miss the game. He picked up a 2-game ban from the weekend, so Roby doesn't have any cover at hooker. Your thoughts on how Saints might play that, given the idea that Coote should be playing Roby as fullback for some sort of fitness?
Fit, I think they might bring Danny Richardson into the bench to just give them some cover, give them that ability that if they do need to give Roby a breather, he can step in there, or they can shuffle things round if they need to.
Shift into dummy half, for example, or they can have Bentley in the squad who's been doing a bit of dummy half.
Yeah, I think that gives them the options. I think he's just, although he has been up and down form-wise, he's probably slightly ahead in terms of quality. And I think
Matty Lees misses out due to injury, which opens the door for Kyle Amor, but I think Kyle Amor's been performing well and deserves a spot. So sad for Matty Lees, but not a huge hole in the Saints squad with the way everyone's been going.
Yeah, I think Kyle Amor is a brilliant replacement to have, isn't he? If you've going to have to pick someone out, he's got that experience and know how to do it. Obviously, he's coming towards the back end of the slope, but still perfectly good. And so perfectly, he's not going to let anyone down.
The bigger injury questions are on the other side of the field, aren't they? I mean, will they be tempted to risk Blake Austin, who definitely won't be fit but might get played? Stefan Ratchford, similarly unlikely to be fit, but can they resist the temptation, knowing what else is behind them, which is 17-year-olds, effectively? Can they resist the temptation of putting him in and risking it and seeing if they can get away with it? What do you think?
I think one of them will play. I think certainly I think if you were without both of them, it's almost a white. And I think if even if it's Ratchford on the bench, I can see one of them certainly putting their hand up and getting for a fitness test. Whether they'll last the game is another question, but I certainly think one of them will play.